Just Seen It is made possible by Adobe and the Adobe Creative Cloud, including Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and After Effects. More information is available at bit.ly/AdobePTV. In honor of the 2014 Sundance Film Festival, we highlight 4 great films to look out for in the coming year.
Hi, I'm Salim.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Aaron, and today we're here to talk about some of our favorite films from Sundance 2014. We've all just seen it, guys. Scott, start us off. What was the big winner this year?
Well, the big winner at Sundance 2014 was Whiplash. It won the top 2 prizes, the jury prize and the audience prize. Now, the last time a movie did that was just last year with Fruitvale Station when it was just called Fruitvale, but boy, did this movie deserve it. Miles Teller plays an aspiring jazz drummer at a music school who butts heads in a very big way with his instructor, played by J.K. Simmons in this movie. This is the movie that's going to make him a star. It is a riveting, powerful, exhilarating movie. It's unpredictable. You don't know where it's going to go, and the ending is so shocking that it'll literally give you whiplash.
Well, unfortunately, Salim and I didn't get a chance to see Whiplash, but we did get to see one of my absolute favorites of the festival, and probably of this whole year so far, Wish I Was Here, which was written, directed by, and starring Zach Braff. It's about a character named Aiden Bloom, who is essentially Zach Braff, and it's about the familial turmoil that this family goes through and an illness in the family. And I thought it was absolutely spectacular. It was just so grown up. I mean, I loved Garden State, and that was the first film that Zach Braff wrote, directed, and starred in.
Which premiered at Sundance.
Which premiered at Sundance,
yeah.
and I believe it won something at Sundance
Yeah,
as well.
it was a critical and commercial hit from that year's festival.
Yeah, so as far as, history goes, there's a reason why it's here, and it makes, the tone of the film makes sense. It feels sort of almost like a continuation of the same character, but it just had such emotional resonance for me, especially because I am a young Jewish person whose mother unfortunately passed away from cancer, so I feel these visceral and emotional connections, and by the end of the film, I was bawling.
What do you think, Salim?
No, I enjoyed it. It was very mature, as we've been saying, but that to me is what's so incredible about it, is watching Garden State and then watching this film. You see that this guy, the guy from Scrubs, has grown up a lot.
Yep.
And he's been able to create this story that obviously it's very emotional to him, because I don't know if this actually happened to him, but it seems like he's pulling from stuff that's happened in his life.
And you gotta write what you know.
Exactly, and that's what I loved about it. But let's not just focus on the direness of it. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very funny. But you talk about Wish I Was Here being a mature movie. I think that really hits the nail on the head. It is a much more mature movie than Garden State, even though it deals with a lot of the same issues. So there's the problem with Wish I Was Here, and it's a small one because I love the film. I thought it was a profound, poignant film, is that it overreaches at times. There's too much going on, and unfortunately that means the movie does feel about 20 minutes too long. But Wish I Was Here is an incredible film. It is a worthy follow-up to Garden State, and I hope that we don't have to wait another 10 years for Zach Braff's next movie.
Let's talk about another movie that we probably thought could have been cut in terms of time.
Yep, another one.
The Raid 2.
But we were so very excited for this.
This is the movie the writer-director Gareth Evans wanted to create the first time around, but he didn't have the budget, he didn't have the clout. I kind of wish that he would have stuck with what he did in the first film, because this film is it's overreaching. There's 30 minutes of story that just doesn't need to be there. We've seen the story happen in movies like Infernal Affairs and The Departed.
The story that stitched together the action scenes, it had been done. And Infernal Affairs is a movie I thought of right away. It's just another gangster epic that, well, I won't say just another, it's just in this realm, it felt very conventional and formulaic.
Yeah.
But when we got to the action scenes,
Holy moly.
And that's the thing that I really want to be able to let people know, is that this guy is incredible with action and fight choreography. I don't want to be the guy who says less story, more action, but because of the fact that he creates such beautiful sequences, I didn't want them to end.
Yeah, I don't think any critic wants to say less story, more action, but this is the kind of movie where you want that.
But
because
this is
he's
a strength.
got skill.
The strength is action.
I thought that the action set pieces were so spectacular that they, at times, made up for how disappointing the story was, because they just keep getting more intense.
They just keep getting better and better. And then you also see an improvement, not just in the fight choreography, but in the camera work.
Yeah.
There are scenes where the camera's going in and out of cars. It's crane shot inside this prison riot. I don't even know how he did some of them, but they were incredible. And I just I can't wait to see what he's going to do next.
Yes.
Well,
I'm
so
really
let's agree
curious.
that the Raid 2 was good, not great, not as good as the first. But let's also just wrap it up here with the talk of the festival, Life Itself. Documentary about the late great film critic Roger Ebert, influential critic, not just because he was the first critic to win the Pulitzer Prize, but because his show with Gene Siskel, Sneak Previews and At the Movies, is obviously a major influence on our show, Just Seen It on PBS. But this is a documentary directed by Steve James, who directed Hoop Dreams. 20 years ago, a movie that Roger Ebert championed and loved. And for a movie like Life Itself to premiere at Sundance, an independent film festival that Roger Ebert loved and supported through the years, it was very, very fitting. Steve James was given unprecedented access to the last 4 months of Roger Ebert's life. Now, at the time, no one knew it was going to be the last 4 months of his life, but you see his daily routine. The movie is framed around his trips to the hospital, how he gets around, how he is fed, how his air passages are cleaned.
Yeah, everything.
And it's uncomfortable to watch. It's unflinching, it's
Yeah.
upsetting, and it's heartbreaking.
This movie just manages to be fascinating, heartbreaking, inspirational, hilarious all at once. And
All at once.
I don't understand how it does it, but it
is-
does it in the best possible way.
And the best part of it is the person who has the smile on his face for the majority of the movie is
Roger,
Ebert.
yeah.
And he's going through this calamity. And that to me is the most inspiring part, is that he went through all this, he can't talk anymore, and instead of just going and being in his bed and not doing anything, what does he do? Creates one of the best blogs ever.
So even though the movie is hard to watch, even though it is heartbreaking, it is very funny. It's a rousing, inspiring movie. Life Itself is a life-affirming experience that if Roger Ebert was here to review himself, he'd give it 2 thumbs way up.
So this was another fantastic year at Sundance. Just to review, we talked about Whiplash, The Raid 2, Wish I Was Here, and Life Itself. They were all wonderful. I can't wait to go back next year. I wish them all the luck with their distribution. So let's have a cheers.
All right, guys.
To Sundance and to Roger Ebert.
And some great movies.
Yes, sir.
Got your burp out?
Got your burps out, you think? Everything's out?
AJA Video Systems, proud supporter of Just Seen It, offers a wide range of professional acquisition and post-production solutions. Learn more at aja.com/PTV.